Alan Wasalan, and I want to shukran you for viewing. I want to really, really, really say thank you. You know what I mean? I thank you. It's been a year of me reading. It's been enlightening. It's been insights. It's been hurtful. It's been, it's been, I say, somewhat a game, not a mass game, but somewhat a game. And I just like I said, I shukran you. So I'm not gonna stop. Please continue to view. Please continue to come get some nourishment. Please. And you're with the Nasty Pastor, and I'm back with another chapter reading from Stolen Legacy. You know, we ought to have a day for George G.M. James. We really should. We should give him a day, honestly speaking, because this book, you know, it has been republished. You know what I mean? I can tell because of the cover. You feel what I'm saying? But for the most part, what I remember reading, you know, it's in here. You know, it's definitely in here. And it's some stuff that's been added on, but most of what I've read is in here. The only thing that I'm not understanding, why isn't the stuff about the money? Why isn't the stuff about the monuments? Why isn't the stuff about the symbolisms? Why isn't that stuff in here? You feel what I'm saying? That stuff should be in here. So I just say this to you, you know what I mean? Books of today, please use your common sense. Books of yesterday, please use your common sense. And it's sometimes best to revisit things you have read, because when you go back and you view these readings, you view these books, you know, if they're being republished, that means some things has been revised. That means some things has been taken out, because we're getting into, how to say this, America had a standard. You feel what I'm saying? A standard. I don't care what you put out to the world. There was a standard how things was presented. So whatever was presented in the book of Stolen Legacy I first read, you feel what I'm saying? Because it was a book this size right here on Isis and Osiris. It was not like this. And there are some things that I guess some communities didn't approve of. You feel what I'm saying? And I can see that this is more water-based down than anything. You feel me? But look, I'm gonna say it to you again. You're with the Nasty Pastor. Please go to my YouTube channel, OFM Kemet Edition. Please, you can find me on Facebook. It's either the Nasty Pastor Stolen Legacy or it's OFM Stolen Legacy. You know what I'm saying? Go over there, like and follow. You got what I'm saying? Turn your notifications on both platforms. You feel me? Anyway, let's get into this reading. And we are in chapter 6. And we're going to start at D. Crito's account. Crito, on the night before the death of Socrates, while he was in prison on behalf of the company of visitors, made a final appeal to him to permit them to secure his escape, and spoke as follows. O my Socrates, I beseech you for the last time to listen to me and save yourself. For to me your death will be more than a single disaster. Not only shall I lose a friend, the like of whom I shall never find again, but many persons who do not know you and me well will think that I might have saved you if I had been willing to spend money, but that I neglected to do so. And what character could be more disgraceful than the character of caring more for money than for one's friends? Now, have you ever been around a person that care about the money more than your friendship? Have you? Have you really? Look, I'm going to say this to you once again. Know who you're around. Know who you're talking to, know how to talk to who you're talking to, because there are people out in this world like that. If you're not in some way making them some money, if you're not in some way giving them some money, they don't want to be around you. You feel me? They come around when you want to spend the chicken, and the chicken is the money. You get what I'm saying? That's when they come around. You don't hear from them until you got some money to give them in some type of way. The world would never believe that we were anxious to save you, but that yourself refused to escape. Tell me this, Socrates, surely you are not anxious about me and your other friends, and afraid lest if you escape the informers should say that we stole you away and get us into trouble and involve us in a great deal of expense, or perhaps in the loss of all our property, and it may be bring some other punishment upon us besides. And it may be bring some other punishment upon us besides. Yeah. If you have any fear of that kind, dismiss it. Go ahead. Dismiss it. Get it up out there. For of course we are bound to run those risks, and still greater risks than those, if necessary, in saving you. So do not, I beseech you, refuse to listen to me. Then Socrates replied, I am anxious about that, Crito, and about much besides. And Crito continued to appeal. Then have no fear on that score. There are men who, for no very large sum, are ready to bring you out of prison into safety, and then you know these informers are cheaply bought, and there will be no need to spend much on them. My fortune is at your disposal, and I think that it is sufficient. And if you have any feeling about making use of my money, there are strangers in Athens whom you know ready to use theirs, and one of them, Simmias of Thebes, who actually brought enough for the purpose, and Sebes and many others are ready too. And therefore, I repeat, do not shrink from saving yourself on that ground, and do not let what you say in court, that if you went into exile, you would not know what to do with yourself. Stand in your way, for there are many places for you to go to, where you will be welcome. If you choose to go to Thessaly, I have friends there who will make much of you and shelter you from any annoyance from the people of Thessaly. Consider then, Socrates, or rather the time for consideration is past. We must resolve, and there is only one plan possible. Everything must be done tonight. If we delay any longer, we are lost. O Socrates, I implore you not to refuse to listen to me. Now we're going to get into E, which is Phaedo's account of the final scene just before the death of Socrates. In answer to another question from Echecrates, Phaedo replied, I will try to tell you the whole story. On the previous days, I and the others had always met in the morning at the court where the trial was held, which was close to the prison, and then we would go into Socrates. We used to wait each morning until the prison was open, conversing, for it was not open early. When it was open, we used to go into Socrates, and we generally spent the whole day with him. But on that morning, we met earlier than usual, for the evening before we had learnt on leaving the prison that the ship had arrived from Thelos. So we arranged to be at the usual place as early as possible. When we reached the prison, the porter who generally let us in came out to us and bade us wait a little and not go in until he himself summoned us. For the 11 were releasing Socrates from his fetters and giving him directions for his death. In no great while he returned and bade us enter. So we went in and found Socrates just released. When Xanthippe saw us, she wailed aloud and cried in her woman's way, "This is the last time, Socrates, that you will talk with your friends, or they with you." And Socrates glanced at Crito and said, "Crito, let her be taken home." So some of Crito's servants led her away, weeping bitterly and beating her breast. And it was about sunset, and the servant of the 11, after bidding Socrates farewell, gave him the instructions as to how to take the poison, and then handed it to him. Socrates took the cup and drank the poison cheerfully, and then walked about until his legs felt heavy. And when he had lain down, he made his last request to Crito in the following words: "I owe a cocktail Asclepius. Do not forget to pay it." By this time, the poison took effect and he passed away. Now remember, I explained to you they started killing off their philosophers because they found out that most of their teachings came from out of the Kemet Egyptian system. The word that we say now is the Egyptian mystery system. So understand it again, you know what I mean? Understand it again. It's a shame the knowledge and the wisdom we possessed forged a world. You understand what I'm saying? Forged a world, a civilization across this whole rock, across this whole earth. And what has the black community gained from it? Prison, death, drug addiction, rape. Our women are mentally messed up through rape. Our kids are mentally messed up through molestation. How to put it? Our men, you know what I mean? Our men are how to say it? Are mentally, physically beat down with the everyday life of providing. You feel me? Providing for their family. You see what I'm saying? You get it? Mentally beat down, physically beat down, trying to provide a life. You feel me? I say this to you once again, you know what I mean? You've been with the Nasty Pastor. This has been a chapter reading from the book Stolen Legacy.